our Sports Take, JAKIB Sports YouTube Network. Do us a favor, smash that like button. We would appreciate that. So if you're just tuning in, the big story of the day, Jalen Hurts signs a monster contract, 5 years, $255 million, which runs through the 2028 season. A lot of implications here, 179 of which is guaranteed. There's a no trade clause, 110 fully guaranteed at signing, $126.5 million guaranteed by March of 2024. 64 million will be what he will make in the 2024 season. He got broken off in a big way. He got paid in a big way. And the organization, which the Eagles talk the talk and they walk the walk. They said they would get this done. They got it done. And we sit here now and Jalen Hurts is being paid like an upper echelon elite rarefied air top 5 quarterback,
as he should,
which is the performance that he gave them last year for sure.
That's a lot of Whitecaps. You're right, bro. I mean, that's hey, Jason Bennett, think about how many times you can go in there and play play blackjack in the casinos, bro. That's a lot of blackjack table right there, bro.
Yeah,
he's a Vegas man. It can go down now. It can go down.
Yeah,
but you know what? How about that, man? How about this notion? We don't have to worry about Jalen Hurts doing something stupid now that he's got the money.
Oh yeah, that's not even 100%.
But how many guys have gotten the money and went out and did something stupid?
No doubt.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not only Barrett going out and doing something stupid, like breaking the law, whatever, or it's getting lazy, not putting the work in, going through the motions. I got mine. I'm good now. Like, has there ever been a guy you had more confidence in wasn't going to be that person?
How much is that, just like give you like a
yeah.
That your franchise guy is not a nut.
Yes.
Not a total idiot.
And he's not a guy who splits up a locker room. Like, that's the other stuff you had to deal, not to get into a whole Wentz thing because it's a waste of time, but like that was part of the issue there too. Like with Jalen, you don't have to worry about there is a unity there. Like the second this came out, I saw Lane Johnson, I saw Mailata, a bunch of his other teammates, like, way to go, man. You're paying for dinner, whatever. But like guys acknowledging this and happy for him. You don't always get that with certain guys who get paid like that.
Another thing, like, Kevin Savard. Same thing happened when they signed a contract. They weren't worried about the money Kyler Murray was getting. They were worried about the fact that they had to put in clauses to make sure he worked out. Come on, man.
Right. There's none of that nonsense.
Come on, man.
Yeah. I mean, to me, you're putting that clause in, you've already made a mistake. You shouldn't be negotiating a contract if you have to put that clause in, frankly, with anybody, for that matter.
Yep.
So, that's the big news. Now, we're 10 days out from the draft. They sit there at 10 and they sit there at 30. We know that much. Let's just go through this one more time because there's been a lot of Bijan talk and it continues to gain steam. He would be there at 10. He would. I wouldn't do it. I don't think there's enough value in that position.
They're not taking him at 10. They're not going to take him at 10.
Yeah.
30 is
take him at 30.
30 is tempting. I don't put anything past Howie if he stays at 30. They're not taking him at 10. People need to get this out of their minds. They are not. I've been told 3 times in the past 3 weeks, they're not looking at a running back at number 10. It's that simple. It's not the way they build a team. Historically should tell you that they don't build their team that way. There's a premier lineman somewhere they're looking at right now.
Whether it's on the defensive side of the ball or the offensive side of the ball.
Now, the only shocker, would they take a wide receiver that high? Don't know. But I'm telling you right now, the way they build this team.
They'd be more apt to do that than they are running back.
Absolutely.
They'd be more apt because at this point, they don't have the third receiver that they want. And they don't have some assurity if one of those guys, one of our horses get, I'm not even going to say it, but one of our horses couldn't play. Who would come in and play in their absence? Because if one of them wasn't there, rest assured the other one would get double teamed and taken out of the game.
Yeah, I mean, oh boy,
Double team. You can't double team somebody because you have three guys that are great. You know what I'm saying? Smitty, Brown, and Goddard are great. So you can't double team any of them.
yeah,
They're all three on the field. You take one guy off. You could double team one guy now and single and zone read the other one. I mean, zone play the other one. You could do that.
yeah,
Like you could double team and you could double team Dallas Goddard if either Smitty or Brown was out of the game.
uh-huh.
And with that, you roll zone over him. You can roll coverage to him and double team the other one. When all three are on the field, you can't do nothing because you have to pick your poison now. Because if you roll coverage and double team, somebody's going to be running wide open. And that's the allure of when you're having a quarterback that can read those things pretty quick and get the ball to the guy that's going to be open. Because you have so many weapons that define things early because you can't hide them when you have three weapons out there. Now, you got to get somebody, just in case. It's not really a luxury. It's a necessity right now because we play so much 11 personnel. And 11 personnel is one running back, one tight end with three receivers.
It's an interesting take. It is, Barrett. I wonder, here's the way I look at it. Would they – so you went Reagor first round, you went Devontae Smith first round, you traded a first rounder for A.J. Brown. So that's basically 3 straight years of using a first rounder. Would they go 4 straight years?
It doesn't matter what the
at
position
the receiver
is,
position?
it's a position of the need. You know what I'm saying? It's a position of need.
I presented this to you guys last week. What if Devontae or AJ went down for an extended period of time based on the receiving core right now? This team is really handcuffed. Are you putting that trust in Quez Watkins? No. They don't, for whatever reason. Greg Ward can't get off the practice squad. I don't know why. I think he's a perfect slot receiver. Short-handed, blocks well. But for some reason, he's on the back burner. You need another pass catcher. Now, they may pick up one in the later rounds. If Howie somehow, some way trades back to get more middle round picks, maybe they'll look at another wide receiver there. But you need another body right now at that receiving position. And you look at it. We were wild with the way Denver went about their business and look at all the high-value receivers they got. The biggest problem with Denver was they could barely keep all three on the field at the same time, which really affected their passing game. Well, my goodness, you got 3 primetime catchers. One of them is a tight end. But in terms of primetime wide receivers, you got 2 on this team. If one goes down, now they got through last season unscathed, but we know how the NFL works. It's year to year, day to day. What was yesterday is not guaranteed tomorrow. So you need another primetime pass catcher somewhere. Somebody you can count on. We all agree we don't 100% trust that guy named Quez Watkins. Do we agree on that?
Yes.
Okay. So we need to bring in an extra body for competition and to help them decision make. You know what? I like this guy better than what we already had in-house.
And then I see the stream talking about, would you bring in another tight end, run 12 personnel? I think they have what they want in the tight end position with the guys they have right now. Jack Stoll, he showed he can catch ball, but I think Grant Calcaterra is more of a pass-catching tight end / H-back that they can use in those circumstances. They still got Jackson also, Tyree Jackson also. So we don't know what that kid can do. He hasn't done anything thus far but be hurt, but I think they do like him a lot. Maybe another year will help him mature a little more.
Yeah, I think that tight end, if they address that, it's way later, right? In some way, shape, or form, but I don't know that they would. The receiver thing it's food for thought. I mean, it would have to be. You're not saying at 10, are you?
No.
Okay. You're saying that they stay at 30.
Yes.
Or
trade back.
Trade into the second round. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, look, I think it's possible.
As their second pick, whether it's in the first late in first or in the second round, their second pick is a lineman of some sort, whether it's defensive offense. But that next pick, whether it's in the second round or whatever, I wouldn't mind picking up a receiver.
All right, let me ask you guys this, because in researching for today, I was looking at offensive linemen, like really looking at a lot of mock drafts. And I think what tends to happen sometimes, you like Peter Skoronski is ranked ahead in a lot of cases of even Paris Johnson and some of those guys. Now, the knock is he's got the shorter arms and he would most likely be a guard. And generally you don't take guards that high. But I mean, most of the sources that I looked at have him rated as number 1. Like we've almost it's almost become like a punchline. Like this dude's a stud. I don't know that they wouldn't 100% take him at 10. I don't know.
It would not be reach to pick him up at 10. You know why? He may not even be there. I actually don't see him making it past pick 7.
Really?
Or 8. Yes. He's that good. Do I think he's the best offensive lineman? I think Paris Johnson is the better of the two. But I do think that he's tougher. Skoronski's tougher. He's a tough SOB, bro.
Yeah.
He can't come in and play right now at the right guard position. He can.
Okay.
So when I look at it in my evaluation, man, it's Skoronski, Paris, and the kid from to me it's the kid from Tennessee. Let me look at my tackles again. I gotta go.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do it now.
Darnell Wright.
Darnell Wright. Yeah. But
he's ranked my 3rd guy.
Right.
Versatile, could do everything. The reason I put Paris Johnson in front of Peter Skoronski, because he's played guard before. He's played right guard. He started at right guard. He's also started at left tackle.
Sure.
So that's why I have him ahead of him.
No, I got
when you talk about a tough SOB that's going to come in and be a great guard, like, all right, just put it in terms of what, I can just compare it to myself. I was a good offensive tackle, just good. Mm-hmm. Like I wasn't going to be a Pro Bowler. Yeah. I was going to go out there, I'd do my job. You didn't hear my name called much because when you hear your name called when you're offensive lineman, usually because it's bad, you're getting a holding call or something like that. Mm-hmm. But I was solid. If I'd have been a guard, if they'd have brought me in, I'd been a guard, I would have been a Pro Bowl guard.
Right.
It's easier. It's more close. It's a tighter space. I would have been a Pro Bowl guard. But I played tackle. So I was actually out of position. I was 6'5 and a half, 310 pounds leaving college. Mm-hmm. I'd have been the perfect guard. But my boy couldn't leave the weed alone. Bernard Williams couldn't leave the weed alone, just couldn't stop smoking weed. I ended up starting the left tackle. So once he got suspended, that's when they brought in Guy McIntyre. Moved him into guard and moved me out to tackle. I was drafted to be a guard by the Philadelphia Eagles. I was drafted to be a guard, but they put me in tackles because of necessity. And I just stayed at tackle up until I got to Pittsburgh. And then I started moving into guard and playing center, guard, and tackle.
I want to revisit, Derek, what you're hearing from some of your sources that the guard spot may not be on the team right now. That would lead me to think maybe Skoronski. No?
Possibly.
Yeah.
Or maybe they go out and get somebody who hasn't signed yet also.
Right.
There's a possibility that could happen as well. Mm-hmm. I'm just telling you what I was told. That he may not be on the roster yet.
Yeah, I mean, the concern is you would be light at that spot next to Kelsey.
Yes.
They would 2 guys under 300 pounds is by today's day and age very light.
And let's be honest. This team is not shy about putting a rookie into a starting role in the trenches.
Yeah.
I mean, you put a raw guy at left tackle and groomed him to be a everyday left tackle. You went out and drafted a guy with a knee injury coming out of college. Look how both turned out on the left side of that line.
Right.
So now that you have 4/5 of your offensive line solidified, you can stick a lot of people in between 2 perennial Pro Bowlers like Jason Kelsey and Lane Johnson. Look what happened when Brandon Brooks went down, how they had to patchwork that side. Wasn't bad, was it? Wasn't bad at all. You still had Lane and you still had Kelsey in there. Mm-hmm. So don't overlook the fact that they're not really highly concerned about who they put at that right guard. They will find somebody to put there.
They still got guys there,
Yes.
Jack Driscoll could come in and play guard in a heartbeat. And I think he'd be a really, really good guard. He's an okay tackle, but he's a really, really good guard. Jed Driscoll is a really, really good guard. But if he goes to guard, who do we have now to play tackle? Now, we brought some guys in to play that tackle position. One of them I like pretty good. He's from the crib, you know. He's from St. Louis. Roderick Johnson. Played tackle. No. It's Tyrese Robinson. He both guys can play guard and tackle. But I like Roderick Johnson. Roderick Johnson from Florida State. He got some burn. He played. He's from, he got drafted by Texas. He's played for a long time. Played at Florida State. Been in the league since 2017. He's tackle size. He's 6'7", 300 pounds, kind of slender. But at this point, can he be a swing tackle? He's had some experience playing left tackle. I don't know if he can play left tackle and left guard. And right tackle. But they do have guys. But we don't have that solid guy that I've seen. Maybe we go into camp, and I can't wait to camp to see where we're at with that. But we need some solid guys to be that swing tackle. We need a solid guy to be that swing. We don't have that right now.
Yeah.
Jack Driscoll came in, and he showed some inefficiencies at being a starter. You couldn't run the offense like you would run when he was in the game. And that's the difference between being a great team and just a good team.
No, I hear you.
We were a great team because we had that ability to bring guys in, and good thing, that the big fella Lane Johnson was able to play for as long as he did on that bad wheel.
Yeah, no question. But hey, look, this is we generally don't go a long period of time without something major happening, either with the Eagles or the NFL. We had a little bit of a period there where it was kind of slow, but then today was a reset. And if you didn't hear, the Eagles and Jalen Hurts have reached an agreement on a 5-year, $255 million deal that runs through 2028, $179 million guaranteed. That sits only behind right now Deshaun Watson and Kyler Murray in terms of guaranteed money. So he's right there with the big boys, and I'll take him certainly over either one of those two in a heartbeat.
Right.
in a second. And, last year, the leaps and bounds that he took, you combine that, and look, I think he's in a really advantageous spot because he's got Nick Sirianni. He's got Brian Johnson, who he's familiar with. He hasn't even hit his prime yet at 24,
Not
25.
even close, bro. Not even close, man.
It just feels like this isn't a 13-year deal where you're scared to death. When Bryce Harper turns 38, what it's going to look like. You're getting prime peak years. This guy won't even be 30 by the time this is over. And guess what? If you have to worry about negotiating a deal, that's a good sign. A new monster deal when he's getting close to 30. That's good.
Rob,
yeah.
Put it like this: we didn't sign Jalen Hurts off a knee-jerk reaction. The Cardinals signed Murray because they were like, all right, he took everything off his social media. He's a disgruntled employee. This is our franchise quarterback. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? That's why they signed him.
Yeah.
This is not one of those circumstances. This is like, all right, we need to play this guy because he's shown the ability to be the leader of this team. We owe him this much. We're going to go ahead and sign him because we feel as though this is our future. And they've stood steadfast to that for the past 2 years. Even when we as media were saying, before then, all we talked about is intangibles. Intangibles like a dirty word for us for a long time. But Jalen Hurts has his intangibles. Yes, he has intangibles, and he has everything else also. So it's not like a knee-jerk reaction. Right now, I think Lamar Jackson is a knee-jerk reaction. Right now, the Jets and A-Rod, a knee-jerk reaction. This was set aside that they knew for a long time that they were going to have to pay him, and they don't have a problem with that at all.
The preliminaries of this whole deal began before the season began in 2022, when it was discussed. If Jalen continues to do this, and this, it's a slam dunk, both on and off the field. Jalen did everything he was supposed to be the upholding person that he is and the leader. Think about how many 24-year-olds command a huddle the way he is. Now, he had 1 year in his belt, but he was still untested. There were question marks about his ability. He went out and put in that work by himself. He went in and absorbed that playbook. He also had discussions with management about Here's what I think works better for me. Can we do a variation of this? He had as much input as the coaches did in terms of building him to that next level in 2022. It was a slam dunk across the board with the organization in terms of, okay, he's the guy we're looking for. This is what we need to lead us into the immediate future and the far future as well.
Yeah.
It was simple.
Well
it wasn't hard. It wasn't. Howie's, I can't say this enough. Howie's not a guy who hems and haws about dollars. Howie is very fair when it comes to paying market value for players. It's just like Howie is also in a bind like every other team in the National Football League. You cannot pay everybody. You can't keep everybody. It's not the way it works.
Yeah,
he wants to, though.
Well, that's why the writing was on the wall for Javon Hargrave. You weren't going to pay $20 million there. You just got to give somewhere. For sure. All right,
you got young players waiting in the wings that need to play.
No doubt. All right, we'll continue to discuss this because this is massive news, people. Massive. So we will continue to discuss the extension that Jalen Hurts gets, and he is getting a massive extension. We'll discuss that. We'll mix in some other stuff. Sixers playoff game on Saturday. They play again tonight. Phillies up and down weekend, to say the least. Barrett and I haven't even got into our weekend. We'll talk about all those kind of things when we come back. Don't go anywhere. Derek Gunn, Barrett Brooks, Rob Ellis.
Will we see the gritty video again?
Well, I don't know if we could do that again. Maybe.
Come on, Tom.
That might be against the law.
That might be against FCC, YouTube streaming. I don't know what. We'll see. We'll talk about it. All right. We are Sports Take, JAKIB Sports YouTube Network. Let me tell you about Jim Murray and Principal Financial Group and knowing who to trust with your finances, because it could be a really scary proposition. Right? You want to make sure that you're investing your money the right way to take care of you and your family. I can tell you from personal experience, I found that right person after a long journey, and it's Jim Murray and Principal Financial Group. And whether it's retirement planning, whether it's 401k review, insurance review, you might have a small business, you're trying to get your employee benefits off the ground, that's yet another resource that Jim can help you with. Personally, I've entrusted my IRA. I had some 401k rollovers. Jim assisted me with that, helped me roll those right into my IRA, and I couldn't be any happier. You will be too. Give him a call, 610-996-4751, 610-996-4751. You can also email him, Murray, MURRAY, .jim@principal.com. That's murray.jim@principal.com.